3 years on today, and September the 8th has become a quiet national vigil. It's the day Queen Elizabeth II died at Balmoral, and the day her long apprenticeship for her son as he became the king. It's the day also on which pageantry yields to something more modest and more British, steadiness. And this morning Buckingham Palace shared an image of the late Queen to mark the anniversary, and the symbolism is plain enough. We remember not only the responsibilities she shouldered, but the manner in which she bore them with cheerfulness, under pressure and restraint in an era that rewarded noise. The present sovereign has followed his mother's habit of private reflection in Scotland. Yesterday the King and Queen attended church in Crathie Kirk near Balmoral, joined by the Prime Minister and Lady Starmer. That is a clear statement that the Crown's role as a constitutional and communal glue continues. Prayer one day, work the next, no fuss. Elsewhere, the Prince of Wales is marking his grandmother's anniversary with an engagement in Sunningdale. The choice is shrewd. It links personal memory to civic life, and it aligns with the late Queen's long association with the Women's Institute. Briefings had indicated this would be a solo appearance by William. If, as some outlets this morning suggest, Catherine joins him, it will be read as a quiet vote of confidence in recovery and duty. I wouldn't overinterpret that either way. One appearance does not define a schedule, but it does signal intent. There's also the matter of the Duke of Sussex. Harry has landed in London for the Well Child Awards, a cause he has supported for years. He arrives on a day heavy with memory and when family wounds are rarely far from the surface. Reports are unresolved on whether father and son will meet. The constitutional point is simple: reconciliation is a private good. It is not a public right. But there is a national interest in the royal family being able to perform its work without the soundtrack of rolling discord. So what do we see if we step back and take the 3-year view of the Carolian age so far? First, work rate. Even in illness, the King has kept up a demanding diary and has insisted on being seen by those he serves. That choice validates the constitutional settlement. We're a country that prizes responsibility over celebrity. The Crown is at its best when it's both visible and self-effacing. The late Queen understood this. The current King has adjusted his earlier instincts into disciplined versions of the same lesson. Second, continuity with character. The King's voice is a little more forward than his mother's, but still careful. The softer power value of long relationships built over decades is real and often underrated. It shows up in small convenings on faith, the environment, on veterans' welfare, that never clear a front page, yet help bind institutions that need binding. One can admire that without myth-making. It's not magic, but it is maintenance, and it is the Crown in practice. Third, the Waleses. Catherine's cancer diagnosis and treatment imposed a human limit that the public mostly respected. Her carefully managed return to duty and the couple's joint appearances restore balance to the front line of the monarchy. You do not need to be a court watcher to grasp the basic arithmetic. A small working family must marshal its hours wisely, lend its name sparingly, and be very, very present where it counts. Fourth, sorrow within ceremony. The death of the Duchess of Kent and the forthcoming Catholic funeral at Westminster Cathedral carry genuine historical interest, but they also remind us that the royal family is a family. It buries its dead, it attends its churches, and tries to keep going. That combination of ritual and restraint is precisely what many admired in the late Queen. Where does today leave the perennial soap opera question about Harry and the rest? Well, candidly, in the same place it has been for some time. The legal wrangles over security have eased, which lowers the temperature. The Well Child Awards place the Duke in a role where he is unambiguously at his best. If a meeting with his father happens, good. If not, it doesn't follow that the door is closed. Family repair is not a news cycle, it's a calendar. What then should we say of Queen Elizabeth on this anniversary? Well, two things. The first is that she made duty look ordinary, and that's the deepest commitment and compliment. The genius of the late Queen lay in making restraint appear natural in a culture that rewards self-advertisement. To watch her was to be reminded that leadership can be quiet and still be firm. The second is that she created space for her successor to be himself, while remaining within the constitutional rails. The king has used that space with prudence. He has neither imitated his mother nor discarded her model. He has adjusted it. And that is why today feels settled rather than brittle, and the system is holding because it is not trying to be something it is not. If Catherine appears alongside William today, many will read it as a heartening sign that illness doesn't have to be the last word, and doesn't have the last word. If she does not, that's equally consistent with the only sustainable plan for the Wales family: measured steps, health first, duty in proportion to capacity. Either way, there is wisdom in not over-reading the tea leaves. As for the king, the image I carry is of the small routines of a large office: papers at breakfast, a church service that steadies the day, a visit where a few words and a handshake matter more than they ought to. These are not grand acts, they are faithful ones. The country understands the difference. So we should mark the day by borrowing the late Queen's style: a little gratitude, a little understatement, and a great deal of getting on with it. In an age that confuses attention with importance, her legacy is a useful correction. Service is not a feeling, it is a practice. The Crown remains credible when it remembers that. On the evidence of the past year, it's done quite well.